If you want to build a business that runs itself so that you can enjoy the success that you're creating as you scale, then you're going to need an all-star team. I'm going to show you a key attribute of how to figure out who belongs on your all-star team in this video. Now, what you're hearing about in the news is probably this doom and gloom that there's nobody out there to hire, the right team members are gone, you may have given up. But what I want to show you today is a key concept at the heart of figuring all this stuff out. Now, I didn't come up with this stuff. I didn't create it. It's actually from a book that my former mentor and leader used to make me read when I was a new leader in business. It's called First Break All the Rules. Now, this is a great read, and if you're in this business thing for a long haul, I suggest you put it on your eventual to read list. But truthfully, I am a bit of a bookworm. I love this kind of stuff. I struggled to get through that. It was dense. It was difficult to apply. This concept that I want to show you, though, is going to save you a lot of time today. All comes down to understanding the difference between talents and skills. Now, let me break these things down for you, and then I will show you how they fit in your hiring process. So, talents versus skills. What's the difference here? When we're talking about talents, talents are innate. You're born with them. These are who you are. This is naturally how you approach the world. Skills, on the other hand, skills are learned. You learn these, you develop them, you add skills to your toolbox as you go over time. Talents, going back to talents here, is something that few possess. When you talk about a particular talent, generally speaking, that talent is something that only some people have. Look at professional sports. Those are very talented individuals. Not many of us share those talents. When we talk about skills, though, many people share these because they're things you can learn and develop over time. And as a result, lots of people are learning and developing these things. The third thing about talents is they are natural, okay? They occur naturally in you. And these are just kind of, this is who you are. This is the way that you approach the world. Skills, on the other hand, these are nurtured. Okay, so natural versus nurtured. These are how these things come and they're developed. So let me give you a few examples here, just to make this a bit more concrete. So job number one, I'm going to take a video editor. These are all roles that I have hired for in my previous business leadership, and that's how I have kind of come to use these examples. So video editor, what is the skill? Well, it might be Adobe After Effects. You might need to know Adobe Premiere to know how to manipulate the video and all of those things. But even if you know all of that, you might produce a terrible video. Ask me how I know. I interviewed a lot of these people to figure this stuff out because there is a talent that they also need to have. And there's, of course, many talents, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to boil it down to one. Let's call it timing. And that instinct about how to cut the fluff out of a video without cutting out the substance. Timing and what to cut. In a lot of respects, that's a talent. You can have the best editing skills in the world, the best editing technique, but if you're adding like too long of a pauses and transitions, or your transitions are too long, the video just has that quality that makes it like not that good. And a lot of times that's the kind of feedback that you wind up giving somebody when you hire this editor. They've got these skills and you get your final product and you're thinking, this just isn't as good as I had hoped. It's a lot of times that's because they're missing a talent. Let's take another job here. This is an operations manager, and this is one that I see a ton. So the skill, project management. And this is a skill that almost all business owners are looking for, right? If I could just find that project manager, my life would be so much easier. If I just had someone to manage all of these to-dos and tasks, then my life would be simpler, right? The thinking there is you need a project manager. You need the skill set. But for that to be a really effective member of your team that actually makes your life easier, there are some talents that go with that. So let's say you can see both the high and low level. right? So you're able to see the high level details, you're able to see the low level details, and you're able to anticipate problems and be ready with solutions so that you are prepared in advance. Now, there is a world of difference between the two project managers, where one is mechanically going through the project management process. They're telling you, hey, this is late, this is on time, I've got these things scoped out, I've checked everything's in the task manager. There's a world of difference between that person and the project manager who can see holes because they're thinking at both high level and low level. They're able to say, oh, hey, why are we creating creative here for a booth that requires one-on-one interaction? Like, that just doesn't work. Or, hey, this is a speaking event, we're going to need a more effective way to capture leads. They're able to think both high level and low level and figure out all that stuff, anticipate the problems. That's a talent. That is something that a certain group of people, they have this is how they think. So let's take one additional one. Let's say a sales manager or an account manager. And the skill here, closing deals, right? Who doesn't want that? That is a skill that you can learn. Here are some scripts, here are some techniques, here's how you apply them. But the talent for that, the talent is much more in people. And I can't write and talk at the same time. The talent is much more subtle. Reading people, right? You need to be able to read people and discern, do I push harder? Do I pull back? What is missing between here and the close that I should pull out that particular skill because I'm reading the person and I'm understanding what they need. So that's kind of three different jobs, skills and talents. So talents, they're innate. Few people possess them. They are natural given abilities. Skills, these are things that you learn. Many people share these skills, and these are things that are nurtured, okay? Now, you as an employer, here's the big thing that I want you to understand. One of these things you can give the people on your team. The other one, you cannot. Skills is the only thing that you essentially have to offer somebody who's joining your team. You can teach them the project management skills. You can teach them the sales script close skills. You can teach them Adobe stuff. Maybe not you individually, but these are things that you can supply as an employer. But the problem is, most people hire for skills. They look for somebody who just checks those skill boxes. And what they find out is that they're missing these talents, right? If that person does not have the right talents to succeed in that role and the way that it works in your company, then you will struggle to enjoy the results and to create a really low friction, high productivity relationship. That's the big difference. So how do you apply this in your business so that you can build a business that runs itself? There's three steps you need to take here. Step one is for each of the roles, whether this is a new role or a role that you already have that you just need to clarify, define the talents that that role needs to succeed, okay? Go through the role and figure out, what is it about this role? Like, what talents make somebody succeed here? Step two of this that's going to help you with step one is this. If you already have people in this role doing it, learn from your best people. This is one of the ways that we built some of our most effective job templates, and they contain some surprising talents that I wouldn't have thought to put in there. But by examining the most talented people on our team, who's the best at this already, and figuring out what talents is it about them that makes them good at this role, it allowed us to create a really good job description. Now, the final piece to actually putting this in place is we have to use this in real life, okay? So focus your interviews on talents. Okay? Not skills. Remember, skills are the only thing that you as an employer can provide to the people who come to work for you. So it is more important that somebody comes with the right talents than it is that they come with the right skills. If you go through your team systematically and you figure out what talents does it take to win here, what does winning look like? What are those talents that create those wins? Then you'll be well on your way to building a business that runs itself. And if you're a CEO who wants to build a business to run itself, come find me. I can help you. Head on over to sharpbusinessgrowth.com. Click on the Let's Talk thing. Tell me about your business.